Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Elder Scrolls Lore. Now today we're going to be talking about House Redoran. As one of the 5 prominent houses in Morrowind, they are seated in Blacklight, which is close to Skyrim's border. They trace their roots all the way back to that of the First Era, with every third of the last seed marking a celebratory anniversary. Early on, their power became overwhelmingly strong, and they became the strongest house in Morrowind. They joined Horator Induril Nerevar in the Battle of the Red Mountain, which saw them gain prestige and glory. Over the next few centuries, a militaristic and enduring nature was pressed into House Redoran, with having to deal with consistent Nord raids along the border. The color red in their sigil is meant to represent this. Untitled of House Redoran is credited for giving the killing blow against the ancient Emperor Crab around this time, to which Ald'ruhn was built around. Now, we get into 2920 of the First Era. It's said that the House of Redoran exiled Turella after being impregnated by the Duke of Morrowind, Brindisi Dorum, and allegedly she then summoned Marunas Dagon to sack Mournhold and kill Dorum. By 582 of the Second Era, Redoran staked its claim to half of Ardenfell, including the Bitter Coast, the Ascadian Isles, West Gash, and a portion of the Inner Ashlands. They employed the House Hlaalu to construct a more modern approach to the cities of Balmorra and Suran. However, these settlements were built in Hlaalu fashion rather than Redoran, and soon Redoran feared that Hlaalu would take over via mercantile control, which they later would do in the Third Era. Prior to 582 of the Second Era, Redoran also founded the mining colony of Nissus and secured an influence in Molag Mar and Vivec City. Redoran also held a fort northeast of Balmorra and Arinum Manor as well. In response to the Connaughton Flu outbreak in 560 of the Second Era, Redoran sponsored military expeditions to raid the ruins of Mazatun in Shadowfen Blackmarsh to wipe out the Zitzat tribe, who they believed were responsible for creating the disease, or at least spreading it. What came of this event is unknown. By 572 of the Second Era, Redoran High Counselor Miriath participated in the defeat of the Akaviri, and then later joined the Ebonheart Pact, and then fought for Cyrodiil in 580 of the Second Era during the Alliance War. In 582 of the Second Era, the Redoran village of Circamora in Dashan was infiltrated by the Malborn cult and Daedra. Redoran Captain Valek Doranil and the Vestige would liberate the village later on. Now, there was also a lot going on at this time as well, because at the same time, Balmorra's captain, Brivian Malroom, desperately enlisted Khajiit mercenaries to supply the depleted Redoran military, much to the High Council's dismay. And as a result of the Redoran Ashlander disputes that were also going on, they were land disputes I should say, Councillor Dolvora was then assassinated, and then Councillor Eris Relith's daughter, Vea, would be then assassinated as well as a result of a Morag Tong plot. The rest of the council would have attempts made on their lives with no success by the year's end as well, with the exception of Eris. Now, Suran's head of security, Marshal Halaran, was also exposed of slave peddling, which was illegal in the Ebonheart Pact. Slavery was illegal, and corruption. By the era's end, Tiber Septim invaded Morrowind. While House Talvani proclaimed their neutrality, Hlaalu sided with the Empire. We have House Induril and Dress, which rose in resistance to Septim, and then Redoran would later join on in this resistance, but soon found itself alone. Redoran garrisoned the border as Dress and Induril opted to fight more of a guerrilla warfare style, and Vivec's armistice gave Redoran an honorable way out of the war without having to sacrifice its people and drop out. Throughout the Third Era, Redoran's traditionalist beliefs guided them into a decline. The Empire disbanded much of the Redoran military as well as the rest of the military in Morrowind, and much of their land in Vardenfell was redistributed to that of Telvanni and Hlaalu. Balmorra was lost to Hlaalu as long as the settlements I stated earlier, and this forced Redoran to move their district capital of in Vardenfell to Aldrune. However, they did create the settlements of Margon in the Ashlands and the settlements of Cool and Aldvelothi in West Gash. As of the late Third Era, Archmaster Bolvin Venom ruled Redoran, and while not very well liked, he was highly respected for his strong leadership. He secured land shares in Vardenfell and oversaw the district capital transition to Aldrune in 414 of the Third Era. During the fulfillment of the Neverine prophecies in 427 of the Third Era, he was killed in a duel by the Neverine, and to which then the House of Redoran offered the position of Horator, but whether or not this position was accepted or taken up upon is unknown. After the coronation of King Hlaalu Helseth, rumors of a new act to abolish slavery stirred in Morrowind, resulting in a civil war fought between the houses of Redoran and Indoril fighting against the houses of Hlaalu and Dress. Now, during the Oblivion Crisis, almost all of the Imperial legions were pulled from Morrowind to Cyrodiil, and with no standing army due to Imperial demilitarization in the region, Aldrune was virtually destroyed. Redoran took this to heart because they took the charge, raising an army, and then slowly but eventually kept the Daedra at bay throughout the crisis until the Oblivion Crisis ended. With the start of the Fourth Era, Redoran began to rebuild Aldrune and the rest of Morrowind. However, in the year 5 of the Fourth Era, the Red Year halted this and wiped out all the settlements on Vardenfell. Redoran immediately coordinated relief. However, again, this would be halted by further setbacks with the Argonian invasion, forcing Redoran to divert its army and resources to halt the advance, where it still remains to a stalemate to this day. Redoran filled the power vacuum after Hlaalu was forced off the Grand Council. As I stated earlier, it was replaced by House Sadris. However, unlike Indoril, who led due to its ties to the Tribunal, and Hlaalu, who led due to its relationship with the Empire, Redoran was in charge due to its own authority and power. Redoran's capital also transitioned to Blacklight as Mournhold was sacked by the Argonians, and eventually Blacklight became the capital of Morrowind itself. Now, in the year 16 of the Fourth Era, Solstheim was given to Morrowind as a refuge, and effectively it became under control of the Redorans, with the exception of Telvanni's Telmithrin settlement. In the year 95 of the Fourth Era, Hlaalu attempted an assassination of Raven Rock's leader, but this failed. Then in 150 of the Fourth Era, it was then raided by the Argonians, but this was also stopped by the Redoran forces. Then by 181 of the Fourth Era, its ebony vein dried out and then soon led to its neglect. In 201 of the Fourth Era, the last Dragonborn foiled another Hlaalu plot and then later on stopped Marak. Then there was a discovery of new ebony veins which led to a renewed interest in the Isle by the House Redoran. Now we are finally caught up. Redoran currently rules Morrowind out of their capital, and now the capital of Morrowind, as I said, Blacklight, and essentially have control of the entire province, and are currently in a stalemate with that of Blackmarsh. But whether or not we will see this more in the future, we just got a massive leak on the Elder Scrolls 6. Whether or not that is true, I would take with a grain of salt, but essentially it will be taking place in both High Rock and Hammerfell. So hopefully we get to see more about this in the future, and with that coming up, I hope you all enjoyed. If you have any recommendations for future topics, please let me know in the comments below or in the Discord chat. Sorry, I had to take a breath there. And then, of course, I hope to see you all in the next video and in the Discord chat. Peace. If you enjoyed, please like this video because it really lets me know you're enjoying this content. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. The links are right here for you to click on, and the Discord chat link is right here as well. And overall, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.